but you can have bots in the game. But no game should ever end with this right now. No Fortnite game should ever end with that experience right there.
What is going on, guys? My name is 4G. So today I wanted to make a video responding to a clip from Ninja and Courage JD where they were basically going over why Fortnite feels absolutely hollow nowadays in comparison to how it did just a few years ago. Now I say just a few years ago, actually in reality it was more like 6 or 7, before Chapter 2 basically, and this is why I dislike Chapter 2 a little bit, because they added bots. But you know what, before we get into that, let me show you parts of the clip right now.
Gaming, no matter how popular your game is, feels so hollow because you're facing skill-based matchmaking bots or skill-based matchmaking incredible sweats. So that'll forever be a thing, but you know, it's only going to keep getting worse. There was that leak the other day that apparently there's a bot-only mode coming to OG, and you know what? If it takes a bot-only mode coming to OG to have OG then go back to the way OG matchmaking used to feel for Fortnite, I'm in. But I've never felt a crazier sensation in my life than the morning after OG released this past year, and they didn't have skill-based the first day or bots, and wins felt rewarding. You were never searching for bots for 10 minutes. You were never getting a final kill going, oh, it's AI. You know, wins felt prestigious again. I played the next morning when that was still off, and then at some point at 10 a.m., it clicked on, and I have never felt a gaming sensation like that in my whole life, bro. Watching the bots and the skill-based matchmaking kick in and the game just immediately turn hollow was crazy, dude. It was crazy. We went, dude, I remember me, you, Lupo, and Tim were texting like, 12 hours again tomorrow, let's do it, let's run it. It felt so, and then the next day you guys hadn't signed on yet or something, and I literally texted and said, dude, look at this. And boom, and that was it. I don't think we even played OG Fortnite again.
Yeah, pretty much stopped immediately.
Like right now, this is Fortnite's biggest issue at the moment. We have now spent
the last
6 minutes searching for robots.
So yeah, they basically are just going into the idea of why it's not fun to play against AI, and I completely agree with them on this. This is what I've been saying from day one, from the very beginning of OG. I mean, I even made a video talking about this, where basically day one, there was 0 bots in the game. It was amazing. It was the best thing ever, and honestly, it didn't even feel like there was skill-based matchmaking. People were on Reddit, they're on Twitter, crying about it, talking about how it's so hard to win a game. I mean, not everyone was like that, of course, but there was a big chunk of the player base, and I believe that is why they said, okay, let's put bots, let's put skill-based matchmaking into OG. But here's the thing with that. Here's the problem with that. You don't need to win in every single game you play, for one, okay? It's a battle royale, okay? It's supposed to be competitive. It is supposed to have some sort of challenge to it. There's no challenge if you're just constantly winning and winning. Now, there is supposed to be some upcoming bot-only mode, and I think that that is absolutely fantastic for the players who do want to play only against bots. Well, there you go. As long as that means that we get no bots in the actual OG mode at this point, so we can play a real game of what feels like Chapter 1, because in my opinion, that is the biggest problem when it comes to OG. So many people will talk about the grass. I mean, they did fix that, but the grass, something's wrong with the weapons, or the storm is too big. Even the movement, I mean, I agree these things are problems, or they weren't already fixed. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that is holding Fortnite OG back from feeling truly like OG is the fact that you are not playing against real players for the majority of the experience. Yes, there is a period of it where you do play against real people, of course. It's not literally only bots, but you should never ever get to the point where the end of the game is a 1v1 of just bots. That is absolutely unfulfilling and absolutely unrewarding, and I don't know how anybody truly enjoys that, in my opinion. I think that there's absolutely nothing fun about that. There's nothing interesting or engaging about that, and that is why I personally only play Fortnite now when we're talking about getting gameplay for videos, because I still do have a passion for Fortnite. I still do enjoy it from time to time if friends get on, but I'm not going to go out of my way consistently to play this game anymore, even though this, in my opinion, could be considered one of the best times to ever play the game. Chapter 1 has always been my favorite era of the game, but now you get the option of playing in Chapter 1 again, while also being able to play with all the other different modes and all the other content that Fortnite has in the year 2025. But for me personally, none of that unfortunately matters. It just doesn't when the game itself is riddled with bots. I don't want to play against bots all the time, okay? I want to play against real human players because I'm playing a PvP game. I didn't load up PvE, otherwise I would have loaded up Save the World, okay? I'm not loading up Save the World, I'm loading up Fortnite Battle Royale, which I know this is a long time ago now. At this point, we've had bots in the game longer than we haven't, but back in Chapter 1, the entirety of Chapter 1, we did not have bots till Chapter 2, there was no bots. 0 bots. Not a single bot. If you saw that the player count said 99, that wasn't lying to you like it is now. That means that there's actually 99 other players, other real human beings connected to a server that you are playing in as well. It felt so much better. It was much more a genuine experience, and it's something that I'm tired of complaining about, but it's one of the biggest problems in my opinion with the entire game. You can say whatever you want about the main Battle Royale now. I mean, I disagree with it still. I still don't think bots belong even in the main Battle Royale, but when it comes to OG itself, OG needs to get rid of it entirely, okay? Have your bot-only mode, and then have the main OG mode that has 0 bots, and it's just like it was back in Chapter 1, which is the whole point of the OG mode. The original Chapter 1 did not have bots, so why does OG have bots? So going back to the clip, I completely agree with them. The game feels hollow. It doesn't feel great at all to play. It doesn't feel like it used to. And this has been a problem for years and years. I have not been truly fulfilled by this game. And it's not because the game itself isn't fantastic. It's not because the developers don't put enough effort. It's not because they're not making good gameplay changes to the game or they're not doing it as often. It's not anything like that. It's just the fact that it doesn't matter what they do. When I get on the game and I'm not playing against real people in a PvP game, I get disinterested. It's not fun to me. That's why I rarely play single player games nowadays. It's just because I like that feeling, that competitive feeling of playing against real people. There's something about it that is interesting. It drives me to want to get better at the game. And I know not everyone shares that same exact feeling, but when it comes to OG, when it comes to Fortnite, this is how it used to be. This is what kept me so engaged. It's what made me start this channel back then. It's what makes me still talk about this game to this day. That passion was created with true competitive gameplay that we used to have. It's why I play games like Rainbow Six Siege so frequently now. That game, you know, it's not perfect or anything. It's incredibly fun though. They rarely add anything at this point. I know they just had a big update technically, but it was nothing truly new other than the graphics. It was a big graphic overhaul, but in reality, it was not that far off going from CSGO to CS2, if we're being real. That's as the equivalent of it. I mean, it was a little bit more than that, but still wasn't a huge update in that sense. It didn't change up the gameplay massively or anything like that, and yet I'm still grinding the game because that competitive feeling, that feeling of playing against real people is unmatched, and it's something you didn't have to worry about back in the day. I don't know what happened the last couple of years where these games start injecting bots into all these matches. It's mostly battle royales, but still, I don't understand it, and I want it to end. I mean, I guess I do understand it. It's to make players who aren't as good at the game feel better about themselves so that they can get easy wins, so they spend money in the shop. That's my guess, but even then, Call of Duty, if talking about actual Call of Duty, I'm not talking about Warzone. Warzone will never be Call of Duty in my opinion. Sorry, that it's its own thing, okay? It is not Call of Duty. Call of Duty is multiplayer, zombies, and campaign. But anyways, point is, the multiplayer of Call of Duty, at least so far, does not have any sort of bots that we know of. I mean, people have had their theory that there's bots in the game, but officially there is no bots in the game, and it just makes for a better experience. Now, I'm not saying that it's perfect. It's not that, you know, you go up against nerds, but that's skill-based matchmaking then. The point is, we need a good balance between these different things. We need a good balance between skill-based matchmaking, and we also need no bots in the game, because bots just make it worse. And the only reason we have bots in the game really actually is not just to make people feel better, but it's also because of skill-based matchmaking. They want to match people based off of skill, and with a 100-player battle royale, they can't really do that very well while maintaining fast queue times. So they just throw in 70 bots into the lobby instead, and now you're only playing in an actual 30-player battle royale, and I dislike that greatly, okay? The whole appeal of Fortnite Battle Royale was 99 other people, 100 people on one server. That was something that was actually mind-blowing to me back in the day. And now we're playing against like 30 people. It's like we're downgrading here. This is like playing Minecraft Hunger Games back in the day with like what, like 18 people max, 12 people. I don't even know how many people. I didn't really play it that much, but I'm just saying that's what a lot of people say Battle Royale evolved from. Well, we're going back to that. We're going back to these minimal player counts. We're talking about actual human beings in the lobby, and we're replacing it with bots that are not engaging. They don't even really fight back, but even then, I wouldn't necessarily want them to fight back, because let's be real, it's not fun to get locked on by a literal robot, okay? So neither option really works. Them being horrible, not really shooting back doesn't really work, and then them being insanely good like an actual player, it doesn't really work either, because it's still not going to be like a player. Human beings miss, and robots would not. I mean, I'm sure they can do something to make them miss, but I don't know, they haven't changed the AI in years, it feels like. The same primitive AI that they've had in the game since Chapter 2, that's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like they've really evolved it at all. But anyways, I'm going on too much about this. I'm going to wrap up this video here. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that Ninja and Courage are correct in this situation? Or do you love getting free wins against bots? I mean, that's okay if you do. We all have different opinions. That's just my opinion on the matter. I think it absolutely ruined the game, and I'd be fine with them if they just put them in normal Fortnite, because I don't really care about normal Fortnite anymore now that we have OG and Reload. But having them in these different modes, Reload and OG, it just ruins the experience for me personally. At the very least, OG. Like, come on. That never had bots to begin with, and day one, we had no bots. It was the best experience I've had on Fortnite in years. But anyways, that is going to wrap up this video, like I said. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you're new here and like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.